U.S. stocks have fallen as excitement over the likelihood of a tax code revamp was offset by concern over its effect on years of monetary policy stimulus and the future of interest rates. The U.S. House of Representatives approved the tax legislation in an afternoon vote. The Senate was expected to vote on the tax bill later in the day. Republicans were confident of the bill being signed into law by the end of the week. Stocks added to losses after the vote, which followed weeks of market gains on optimism that tax cuts would boost U.S. earnings and the economy. Some investors also said that much of those benefits were already reflected in stock prices. The S&P 500 has climbed about 5% since mid-November when the House passed its tax overhaul bill. The tax rate we've certainly priced in stocks, said Jack Ablett, Chief Investment Officer at BMO Private Bank in Chicago. Investors may also be celebrating the tax package but recognizing that what central banks have given us in the last years they could begin to take away. The bill, among other things, proposes lowering corporate tax rates to 21% from 35%, which investors are betting will boost profits as well as trigger share buybacks and higher dividend payouts. The S&P 500 technology sector fell 0.5%, with tech stocks weighing the most on the major indexes. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 37.45 points, or 0.15%, to 24,754.75. The S&P 500 lost 8.69 points, or 0.32%, to 2,681.47, and the Nasdaq Composite dropped 30.91 points, or 0.44%, to 6,963.85. Earlier in the day, stocks were pushed lower as Treasury yields rose on strong housing data. Domestic home construction hit a 13-month high in November. Apple fell 1.1% after broker Instinet downgraded the stock to neutral, saying the supply-demand balance for the iPhone X suggested little space to raise sales estimates for the next quarter. The consumer staples index's 0.2% rise led gainers. Altria rose 1.7% after Berenberg upgraded the stock, saying a lower tax rate would boost the tobacco company's profit and shareholder payouts. Walmart rose 0.9% after Citigroup upgraded the stock to buy on expectations that the retailer's shares will rise further in 2018. Zimmer Biomet jumped 6.1%, the S&P's biggest gainer, after the company appointed a full-time chief executive. Declining issues outnumbered advancing ones on the NYSE by a 1.81 to -1 ratio. On Nasdaq, a 1.82 to -1 ratio favored decliners. Volume on U.S. exchanges was 6.5 billion shares, below the 6.8 billion average for the full session over the last 20 trading days. Copyright Raw 2017.